Well, hello there folks. Time for another video. Today's video is all about how do you handle tech issues, tech breakdowns when they happen mid-performance. Now, I'm going to be a little bit ruthless for a second. I have recently watched a very, very high-profile speaker in Australia delivering a presentation in America. And he had a bit of an unfortunate incident. And during his speech, his videos didn't play. And my heart really went out to him. It really, really did, because these videos were critical to the message that he was getting across, and it was really, really important as part of his narrative, right? And then even yesterday, I watched my mentor, and, not saying anything bad about my mentor, but again, he had a moment where he was delivering online, and his sound actually cut out. Now, there was a number of things that my mentor did really, really well to recover in the situation, which was fantastic, and kudos to him, which is awesome, right? So if you are the kind of person that uses a microphone or presents online, you may want to start to think about how can you navigate tech issues even better? And how can you respond like a professional when something goes wrong, right? Because at the end of the day, instantly when your sound cuts out, when your video goes off, or your videos don't play, or something goes wrong with the screen, instantly there is a pattern interrupt in the audience's mind, and they go, well, I can no longer trust this presenter, and I suddenly feel unsafe. I'll say it again. I suddenly feel unsafe, right? Because there is this container of everything's good, everything's flowing, everything's smooth. There's something goes wrong, and suddenly everyone's in this state of uncertainty, so to speak, right? So the way that you handle a tech glitch is really, really, really important, right? Because the audience don't remember the glitch, so to speak, but they remember how you respond to the glitch. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So at the end of the day, there's a couple of things you want to think about. First of all, number one, before you go on stage, before you turn your camera on, either way, if you're presenting face-to-face or online, make sure you do your checks. Now, I know that might sound like so obvious, but many people don't. So for me, when I'm presenting on stage, if I'm going to show a video, I'm going to check that video 30 minutes beforehand. I'm going to check it again 15 minutes beforehand. I'm going to check it again 10 minutes beforehand, and again 1 minute beforehand. I never, ever, 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 ever assume that's going to work. I mean, why would I, right? I'm also going to test the microphones if I'm doing face-to-face. And I was at a recent presentation where microphones weren't checked and they didn't work. And I just said, screw it, don't worry about the microphone. I'll just go audio, just go raw with my own voice. And it was fine, right? But professionals check and professionals never, ever assume it, right? Now, next one, pre-framing. So one thing I'm very passionate about doing is pre-framing my audience, right? So if I'm delivering a workshop online, I will literally say to them at the beginning of the session, where we're talking about the ground rules and logistics, okay, folks, as we all know, tech issues are like the weather. We never know what's going to happen. So if at any point my internet cuts out, it's okay. Everyone, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. And I'll do my utmost to get back online and be back in the session as fast as I humanly can. But also other people, you may have a situation where your internet cuts out, and guess what? That's okay as well. We're going to create a space for grace, and we are going to create a space where tech issues will happen, but that's okay. That's just part of the experience, right? And that's a really, really good thing to do if you're delivering online, which is all based on the success of the tech stuff, so to speak, right? Now, in the face-to-face environment, you probably wouldn't need to do that, but you'd want to make sure that you check your microphones, you check your videos, and maybe even if you're about to show a video, you can even pre-frame a audio check, right? So you can say something like, we're now about to watch a video. When I play it, I'm going to play the first couple of seconds and just make sure everybody can hear the video. When I start playing it, I'd like you to raise your hand if you can hear the video, right? It's a really successful strategy because it gets people emotionally engaged, responsive, and they buy into the idea that tech occasionally lets us down. Now, next one is the pause, right? So you want to pause, not panic. Pause, not panic, right? So if your audio cuts out, or your video doesn't work, or any shit goes wrong, just pause and just go, okay, cool, that's the situation, that's the scenario, cool, let's rock and roll, let's just deal with it. All right, let me take a deep breath. All right, my internet's cut out. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and then deal with it. Do whatever you need to do. Or microphone cuts out. Okay, cool, let's just deal with it, right? What you don't want to do is get aggravated, frustrated, upset, or angry. Just take a deep breath and go, yep, it'll be okay. Let's just deal with it. Let's just rock and roll. As I said, people in the audience are going to respect and remember how you respond more than the glitch itself. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the next one you want to think about is ultimately thanking the audience for their understanding. And this is a really, really cool thing to do because the audience will go, oh yeah, cool, yep, stuff happens, I appreciate that, right? So when you're presenting though, you do have the idea of you want everything to be perfect. Well, just to humanize the situation, just go, everyone, that tech glitch happened. We know tech issues are like the weather. We never know what's going to happen. But thank you so much for your understanding. I really, really, really appreciate it. Now, let's rock and roll. Let's get it back into it, right? So that kind of thanking them closes the loop so that people are not frustrated, irritated, or left in that yucky state of going, oh, that wasn't very good. So let's just recap. Number one, do your checks. Never assume it's going to work. Next one, pre-frame it with your audience and say, yep, if something happens, it's okay. It's just part of the show. We'll rock and roll. We'll get back into it as soon as we can. Pause. Don't panic. Next one, thank the audience for their understanding and really appreciate the grace and the patience that they show you as you are the presenter, but they are part of the show as well. And that really humanizes the entire experience and people will come back on your side. But if you try and brush it off and go, oh, that didn't happen, well, actually, the elephant in the room will suddenly get much bigger. On that note, folks, hope you got some value from the video. If you did, like, comment, share. Let's get the message out there. And have an amazing week, year, month as you go out there, change lives and facilitate transformation. My name is Mark Miles, helping you become an even better trainer, facilitator, coach, and mentor. Bye for now.